Hey there, Thick Thoughts. Ask and you shall receive, and by that I mean merch. Have you wanted to support us and look stylish repping that thick thought look? Well, here's your chance. Visit teespring.com/stores/thickthoughts and view a nice catalog of hoodies, shirts, mugs, and more. You can proudly show that you are the thickest of thoughts to all your friends, neighbors, and that one dude that decided to use the elliptical right next to you when he has the whole rest of the gym to work out in. Again, that's teespring.com/stores/thickthoughts. Look fabulous and be the thickest of thoughts. And now, on to the episode.
That's a funny one.
Beautiful lady.
Lady and Lola.
She
is
that
on purpose?
But I love her. No, she's my boyfriend's dog.
Oh. So
yeah.
So he has a type. The L first name.
Apparently.
That's weird. Anyways. You know what I mean.
He likes little things. Because he's a very tall person and he's got like this tiny dog. And before he got this dog, he wanted a Yorkie. I'm like, gosh, if I would have met you and you had a Yorkie, I would have thought you were so gay.
Right?
Because that is such a feminine. I just can't picture such a man.
Right.
With a Yorkie, a little yappy dog.
Like when you envision people who match their dog.
Right.
Or like their cat. I don't know.
Right, because it's supposed to look, I don't know, like I feel like people look like they're pets. But
they're supposed to anyways.
He doesn't
look
like
law.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's funny.
So, welcome to the Thick Thoughts podcast.
Hey, everyone.
Hi,
I'm Ellie, and I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Sarah.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Thick Thoughties.
Hello. And we are with our beautiful guest of the week. Oh, it's Weight Loss.
Introducers. Oh.
Hi.
Her first name is Lola, by the way.
Hi, I'm Lola.
I
guess we're starting now.
Thank you, Lola, for being here.
I'm so beyond honored.
I mean, you're basically famous now. I mean, quit your job, etc.
I should. I mean, my job, it is tiring. So I will totally do this from now on if that's what you want me to do.
Yeah, I mean, basically. I mean, I once
heard it doesn't pay, but I'm down for it.
Yeah, it doesn't pay at all, actually. So, I mean, a kind of volunteerism, whatever. So,
Hello.
Lola, how? So I heard you have lost some weight recently. Was that on purpose? Like, what brought you to a weight loss journey?
So I've lost 92 pounds this year. 92? 97. Something like that. This year alone, starting from January. Well, not this year. We're in 2019. Last year.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, hey, that's not too bad for 2 weeks.
If I lost that much in 2 weeks, I probably should go to a doctor because that's not okay.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, in 2018, I lost 90 some pounds, and it's most of it I lost before I had weight loss surgery, but then I lost about 60 since weight loss surgery, which was last June.
Well, congratulations on all that hard work and not eating fast foods and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I've actually been really good with the no fast food since. But I guess you want to know why I got weight loss surgery?
Yeah, like what inspired you to get your stomach cut out, for example?
It sounds so morbid. Okay, so I've always just like Ellie, I've had PCOS since I was diagnosed with PCOS since I was 12. So I actually grew up being...
That's also like a really young diagnosis, right?
Yeah.
Am I just crazy?
No, that is really young. And technically I should have been diagnosed when I was 9 because I was 9 years old when I got my first period.
Wow.
Yeah. Fair warning. I feel like there's going to be a lot of period talk in this one, or at least, some.
If I had to guess, most of our listenership are people who have uteruses. So, and if you don't, like, also for people who don't have uteruses, how do you think you got here? Okay. So carry on. Talk about your womb and stuff.
My womb. When I was 9, I got my first period. And when I was young, I was super, super skinny. So much so my family was like worried. When I was super, super young, like 4 years old to 7, I was actually anorexic. I didn't like eating disorder, anorexic. And my doctors had to give me medication to nourish me because I wasn't nourishing myself because I was afraid that I was going to be overweight like my aunt who was obese at the time and still is. But I was afraid to look like her because everyone said, she's so fat. She's so fat. So I was like, I can't look like that. So I stopped eating at the age of 4. I didn't want to eat until I was like 7. And so I was always skinny. And when I started eating again, I had a really fast metabolism. So I could sit there and eat an entire adult-sized pizza and be totally fine. And then all of a sudden, when I was 12, I got diagnosed with PCOS and the weight just started building and it didn't stop no matter what I did. And I was always really active. I played soccer. I was on the soccer traveling team. And then I just started gaining weight like crazy, retaining water, having like medical issues. And they put me on birth control. So I was on birth control from when I was 12 to when I was 25. Well, I'm 25 now. I stopped this past June, right after surgery. I got off of birth control.
And that was a way to like manage PCOS?
It was a way to manage PCOS. Yeah, it was like the only thing that they could figure out to manage my PCOS. But I had it so bad that I actually missed most of school. Like my junior year of high school, I was barely at school because the cysts that I had were so painful that I couldn't get out of bed. They're god awful. And like, I didn't know anybody who had PCOS. Like, or if I did, they didn't talk about it.
And I think like
sorry, Sarah.
most people, I think most people like PCOS and like people who have uteruses, like issues related to sex organs are just, particularly women's, people who are born as women, sex organs. I'm trying to like be PC, but I feel like it's just not discussed at all.
No.
And then, at the beginning of this episode, we felt like we needed to give a disclaimer because we're talking about our periods. And like, to me, it's like half of the people on this planet have a period. It's nothing to freaking apologize for. Like, it just,
no.
Anyways, but Ellie, what were you going to say?
I actually totally forgot. Oh yeah. So like when it comes to PCOS, like it took me years to get diagnosed. So like, and it's still not relatively like researched. Like doctors don't go and unfortunately make the effort to know a lot of this stuff. Like they'll be like what they used to do for me, which I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Okay. So, sorry. So like when I started getting a ton of weight, like the doctors were like, their answer to that was not, maybe there's something wrong with you inside. Maybe you should just stop eating cheeseburgers. And I'm like, well, I'm not eating cheeseburgers. At least at the time I wasn't, but then I started to because I gave up with life. But, but like they're what? Sorry.
I drowned my doctor telling me to stop eating cheeseburgers by eating more cheese by eating the cheeseburgers he was telling me not to eat.
Exactly.
I definitely did that.
But like it sucks because like I just needed answers, and then when finally one, I had to go to a fertility. I was 17, I think. I had to go to a little older, but I had to go to a fertility doctor. I wasn't even thinking about children, but I had to go to one for them to be like, hey, maybe we should do a PCOS blood work on you. And I was like, what does that mean?
Why did it take so long, you know?
Yeah.
That's annoying. See, I didn't have that problem. I didn't have the years of that, which I said a little bit early. I had my first period when I was 9, just to backtrack. And then I didn't have it for 3 years, and I got it again when I was 12. And I had my period every single day for 7 months straight. And that's why I got diagnosed with PCOS.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck.
So that's the crazy part. I had my period every day for 7 months straight. I don't know how I didn't die from blood loss.
I mean, I've had that happen, girl.
Yeah.
It's just either comes forever or it doesn't come at all. It's like
yes.
Decide where if you're gonna come or not.
And that's what she said.
No, and also just in relation to that, like your metabolism is like, and your period is related to your metabolism. It's related to like all the hormones in your body. So like for me, I have been diagnosed with PCOS, but I never had like painful cysts. But the endocrinologist that I went to, they basically said like it's like you are showing these symptoms, so you have PCOS, and it's like a spectrum. Mm-hmm. So I might not have, like, it sounds like you guys had it in like a very severe case, but like having an abnormal cycle, especially as an adult, like when you're younger, I think it's more normal, but as an adult, it's not normal. And also, like, my thyroid was all fucked up, and that fucks up your period. It's just a fucking mess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, PCOS is a spectrum. So, like, I think there's like 7 things that they have on a list for PCOS, and if you meet the criteria of 4 of them, of any of the 4 of the 7, if that made sense, I just realized what I just said. But you get what I'm trying to say. Like, if you have any,
there's a checklist.
Yeah. If you have any of those 4, then you might have PCOS and you should go check it out. So it's like, just because I had a ton of weight gain and hair on my face and I have a beard now and I'm hairy as shit, doesn't mean that the next person that has PCOS is going to be as hairy or whatever. Like my sister technically has it, but she has very regular periods. But she has it because sometimes like she'll get cysts, or she'll have like, she has like crazy endometriosis. She has like, there's certain things that like everybody is very different with it. And I think that because they don't talk about it as a spectrum, and they talk about it as like very cut and dry, like if you have irregular periods, some people don't have irregular periods.
Or like cysts. Like I can't remember, like I had really, really, really awful period cramps and pain, but like I don't think I ever had like a cyst that needed to be addressed, but like I was still diagnosed with PCOS. And that's kind of like the name of the thing. Like no one ever like
they can't narrow it down because everybody's PCOS symptoms are different. But here's the problem. They treat it exactly the same way for every person, even though every person has it differently, which is so frustrating, which I don't think I should get too into right now, just because I have very strong feelings about it. But
girl, that's why we're here.
Yeah, this is a podcast.
From getting diagnosed at 12, I actually was very skinny and then started gaining weight after I was diagnosed. So I think it just got worse, progressively worse. And especially with being given birth control, it made me gain even more weight than I guess my hormones were already planning on making me gain. I had the acne problems. I didn't have excessive hair on my face or anything like that, but the weight gain, no matter how active I was, and like my ovaries looked like beehives with how many cysts were on them. And sometimes I would have cysts that were like the size of lemons, which were very painful. So
when life gives you lemons,
stay home and cry.
Stay home from school and cry. Okay.
Which is what I did. And then I had to become homeschooled because PCOS was so bad.
Why are you homeschooled? My ovaries.
Yeah, well, I didn't tell anybody. I was just like, my health. And they all thought that they like, I was seriously ill or had like,
well, you were
cancer.
seriously
And
ill.
yeah, well, for a while they were wondering if I had ovarian cancer, you know, and they had to like go through all the tests and all that stuff because it was so bad where like I would either not have my period for a really long time or have it all the time. So it's been a very long and stressful, you know, all that on top of that, gaining weight and then having all my friends be like, oh, but your face is so pretty. And then me being like, yeah, well, I'm pretty, period. But I wish I wasn't, you know, yeah, like,
like even you going through your symptoms list, like I didn't go through the acne part. I went through, I mean, I did have cystic acne at some point, but it was like very specific little pimples that I had to go get cortisone or whatever the hell it is that they like inject into you, put into my face. But it was like very like spots. It wasn't like acne. Acne wasn't full blown. But like you didn't go through hair gain. I went through hair gain. I didn't go through, you know what I mean? Like it's very mix and matchy. And I think that they need to start and then some people don't have cysts and some people do have cysts. So I think that they need to start broadening it and having different types of PCOS, like be more specific and generalized for everybody. You know what I mean?
Or like,
not
for example,
but like more specific.
But like you think about it, like PCOS, like we talk about it, like all of our experiences were so different, but we've all been diagnosed with PCOS. Like it's kind of like to relate it to another like disorders, like autism. Autism is a spectrum. It's not like a one size fits all. Like people who have autism, who live with autism, are like on a spectrum. Whereas like it's kind of similar with polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Yeah. I think they need to like get more specific and then start treating it differently, because I remember when I went to the fertility doctor, because they were always putting me like at 14, they were always putting me on birth control. So I've been on and off of it all the time, but like they were like so sure that whatever it was, oh, you just need birth control. So I got it and I started gaining a ton of weight just like you.
Yeah.
And then the fertility doctor was like, no, that's the worst thing you can do when you have PCOS. You need to just take straight up a ton of metformin. Here's 2,000 milligrams or 2,500 milligrams of metformin a day.
Which also just makes you shit your pants.
Yeah. And then also here's some Provera so that you can start your period. Oh, did your period continue? Here's some extra other shit you need to take to make it stop. Oh, did it make it worse when it stopped? Did it come back to like want to make you go to the hospital? Yeah. Okay. Well, here's some other, like they just don't have one little pill for everybody. And it's like, sucks. Like work with me, man. Come on.
My inner anger is being triggered by just hearing you rant because I know I have the same frustration as you. It's like, can we just figure this out? And I had a male OBGYN from when I was 13 to when I was 15, but I've had the same OBG since I was 15 and I'm 25. I'll be 26 next week. And I've had the same lady and we've done different tests and we've done different types of birth control pill and injections and whatever. I had like that implant in the arm that's supposed to last 3 years of like constant hormones.
They didn't put you on that.
They did. And it worked sometimes and didn't work. Whenever I was sick and was given antibiotics, it was like all I had was my period and I would start gaining weight like nobody. So ever since I had that, I gained the most weight. And that's when I got to my highest weight, which was 291.8 or something pounds.
That's just straight up progesterone. Like,
yeah,
no wonder.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. And I felt like my mood was crazy when I first started it. Like so bad that one time I was watching, this is going to be like a really embarrassing story. Get ready.
Yes, we live for this.
Well, in Miranda's episode, we talked about pissing and shitting ourselves. So,
I guess that's not. Well, I did. I did shit my pants once when they put me on metformin because from having birth control. So I guess I'll get back to my embarrassing story. From getting on birth control, I started having pre-diabetes. So they put me on birth control and metformin. And I literally was just laying down watching Netflix and all of a sudden I just feel hot lava in my pants, and I had never my pants before. And then I was like,
I am a volcano.
It's like you don't know what to do because it just comes out of nowhere and you're just like, ah.
I literally was like, what's happening?
It's like, well, I guess this is happening. I'll just sit here and take it for like 5 seconds and then I'm going to go cry myself in the sink.
You're calling it metformin moments?
Metformin moments, man. It's like, it's like a certain precious moment that like, unless you've experienced it, you can't. It's just like when you have to find out like what it's like to eat after you have your sleeve. Like, unless you've experienced it, you really can't like explain to people.
No. It was just like,
unless you've shit yourself, you can't judge others for shitting.
It wasn't even a shart or anything. It was just like it just started coming out.
It just comes out. It's just everything loosens up and it's just.
I was just feeling loose. I was Netflixing, chilling. And
I was too relaxed, and I just bolted for the bathroom. And I'm like, I'm never taking metformin again. So at that point, I was like, okay, I guess I got to get my pre-diabetes in order. So I got to do something about it. Mm-hmm. And this was like 2017. So I'm like, 2017, I'm on metformin for pre-diabetes. I'm on birth control for my PCOS. And then I started taking thyroid medication because I found out I had Hashimotos. So I have all these horrible medical issues working against me.
Yeah. And
I was like, I don't really know what else to do. And every time I go to the doctor, all they tell me is, you're so fucking fat. And I hate that because like,
just lose weight. Just lose weight and this will be better for you.
You like come in with a sinus infection and they're like,
maybe you should lose some weight. Like, I have a cold. Can you give me something for the cold? Well, you're morbidly obese. Mm-hmm. Like, fuck up. my stomach is touching my knees. I know. Okay, first of all.
Oh my god, I wanted to seriously slap my gynecologist one time when I went to go see her because I was just
with your foot as it was in a stirrup.
No, like, I just went in because I was bleeding nonstop. It was like one of those periods where I was just bleeding for months, and I was like, I need to re-up on my fucking birth control because nothing's working. And she's like, I can't give you birth control because she just looked at me. She goes, I feel like you have high blood pressure, and like that's not going to be good for you to take the birth control. I'm like, I've been bleeding for 6 months.
I can just sense your blood pressure. Like,
yeah. It's like, aren't you worried?
Do you have a medical degree?
I'm like, I've never had high blood pressure, you stupid bitch. Like, just give me the fucking, like, I was just so mad. I was like, I've never had high blood pressure problem. She's like, yeah, well, you've gained some weight. I'm like, I'm anemic beyond belief. Just give me the damn birth.
My uterus has been shedding for 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
Is that caused by blood pressure? Mm-hmm. Also, give me fucking birth control.
Yeah. I was so mad.
I know, like, and the whole birth control thing, you get so frustrated that at some point you're just like, listen, I don't care about children anymore. I don't want anything. I just want you to take my uterus out. And when I was 18, I literally went to my doctor. I was like, just take my uterus out, please, please. And I started crying and she's like, no, we don't want to do that because you're only 18 and you're probably going to want children in the future. And
also,
she wasn't wrong, but.
Right. Like, I'm not saying that, like, I'm sure, I think it's like, the thing is, like, people should have the right to bodily autonomy regardless of their age, as long as they're like 18. And I understand, like, some people don't want to like provide a medical service that someone's going to regret, like a hysterectomy or a vasectomy or whatever. But also, it's their fucking body. Like, there shouldn't be like an arbitrary age where, like, oh, I guess you've decided that you don't want children. Like, I'm almost 31 and I still don't know what like if I want to spawn or not. Like, age doesn't mean anything.
Well,
I mean, it means a little bit. But
I guess this leads as to why I got surgery in the first place. So obviously I was overweight and everybody, like, was having medical issues. And then in 2016, I got diagnosed with pseudotumor cerebri. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. Have you ever heard of that, Ellie, at all? Like, maybe with having PCOS, maybe you've heard of it?
I may have, but I don't remember it right now.
Okay.
Explain it, and then I'll probably know what you're talking about.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to tell you how I got it, or how I got diagnosed with it. I went to go get my eyes checked because I needed new glasses. And then they were like, your optic nerve is swollen.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Great. So that's all you needed. So they're like, your optic nerve is swollen. We think there's something wrong with your brain. So automatic thought is like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I have brain cancer. Because it runs in my family. My grandmother died of brain cancer. So I'm like, I'm going to die. And so they go through the whole process of checking my brain. And they're like, there's no mass. There's nothing in there. But it's, your spinal fluid pressure is really high. So you have pseudotumor cerebri. So basically, pseudotumor cerebri is your spinal fluid pressure is so high that it's causing pressure in your brain, which is pushing against your eyes. And eventually, if it doesn't get treated, you can go blind.
Mm-hmm.
Fun. So I was having that, and I'm like, okay, so I guess I have to lose weight, because they said that happens when you're overweight, and it also happens from having prolonged birth control. And at that point, I'd been on birth control for over 10 years. So, at that, I had no other option but to lose weight and try my best, even though I had pseudotumor cerebri, thyroid problems, prediabetes, and PCOS working against me to lose the weight. I worked out, I ate healthy, and I still could not lose anything. And then I went to my GI and I'm like, what do I do? And they're like, well, if you can't lose 30 pounds in the next 6 months, you should consider weight loss surgery. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. So 6 months go by and I'm still not losing weight no matter how hard, and I'm only getting heavier. And I'm like, I guess I got to do that. But the only reason I considered weight loss surgery again was because I started working at a daycare and I fell in love with this little kid, this little boy. And I'm like, oh my God, I want children so bad. And I was having these PCOS problems, and I went to my OBG and they're like, well, weight loss surgery would actually benefit your PCOS. It could probably help stabilize your hormones.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I guess this is the only option in order for me to have children in the future and be fertile, is to have weight loss surgery. So I started last January with the whole like pre-op approval thing where you have to go every month for like 4 to 6 months to a nutritionist. And then they want you to do like a psych evaluation, but they were like, you seem okay in the brain. You don't need that. So I didn't have to do that. And I started working out. I did like all the crazy diet-ish things like Herbalife and other shake thing and all that. I lost 47 pounds before surgery.
That's incredible.
On my own. And I worked out 4 to 5 days a week before surgery. Yeah. Just to get approved. Just because I wanted to get approved. I'm like, there is no way in hell that I'm going to lose this. And the reason I wanted to do it last year was because I turned 26 this year and I will no longer have my father's health insurance. And I was like, his insurance is going to cover it, which was, so his insurance covered it, most of it at least. And I was able to get my VSG, which is what I got, June 1st of 2018.
Woo.
And I've lost 60 pounds since. So in total, I've lost 107 pounds from my highest weight.
That's
damn
awesome.
Girl.
This is me.
Continue and be healthy and love your life and your dreams.
Yeah.
Spawn and make children someday.
Yeah, that's the goal. Someday. Not now. Not anytime soon.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like an ultimate goal. And I was like, I'm not going to wait until I want children to do something about it. I'm going to start doing it now. I am like the most proactive person in the universe. So,
Also, if you think about it, like you sort of like how I said, like, I'm not going to start my 30s diabetic. Like you kind of said, I'm going to start the last half of my 20s the right way.
Yeah.
You kind of said that to yourself.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to be anymore. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of letting my health issues define who I am or control what I can be. And I want to be active, and I want to be able to run after children and not get winded after 3 steps. I don't want to be that person that says, you know what, I don't run because that's my identity. I just don't run. I want to say I can run. I'm going to get my butt up and I'm going to do it. And I used to be that girl that said, I don't run. I don't do anything. I don't run faster or walk faster than like this. But I got up and I put my mind to it, and I worked so freaking hard just to get approved. And then after surgery, like I haven't been working as hard, I guess, as I did before surgery so I could get approved. But
You're still working hard, girl. Like
I'm still working hard.
You doing your goals. You getting things done,
Yeah. I'm working harder on my life than I was on because I just don't have as much time to get in the gym as I did before because my job changed. I'm now a full-time teacher. Before I worked in a daycare and that was it. And I'm a full-time student as well. So I have no life. But yeah, it's been crazy, this journey. Crazy. And the hormones have still not stopped. My PCOS is still horrible.
Oh yeah, no, the I don't think the PCOS is ever gonna just like subside.
No.
We're gonna always live with it, but it can be managed better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, prior to surgery, I had my period every single day from beginning of January last year to like 3 weeks after my surgery. And then they took me off birth control. They took that implant out of my arm, and they put me on progesterone and for 2 months. And I didn't have a period for like 6 months after surgery. Yeah, it was crazy. And then I had it like last month for the first time ever.
Like naturally?
Yeah, I mean, it came on its own, but then I had it for 3 weeks straight. And the doctor was like, we're going to put you back on birth control. And I said, no, man, I'm not doing that to myself.
I think especially after surgery, it's kind of just like after a large amount of weight loss, I think it's just letting your body snap back to what it needs to be because you're going through a lot of stuff,
Yeah, I'm just going to try and figure it out the natural way. I heard that there's natural ways to work with PCOS. So I'm taking vitamin supplements that help with stuff instead of taking medicine and hormones and stuff like that.
Hearing about your and Ellie's like just extreme struggle with like these like female women with uterus related disorders just makes me want to go on a rant about the underfunding of research in areas of women's problems. So I'm
another episode that we can go into conspiracy theories and shit. Like
it's not even a conspiracy theory. It's like it's factual.
Yeah.
Like researchers, when they do include women in studies, they don't even divide most of the time between men and women. Anyways. Yeah.
Also, isn't like, I know I hate to say it, but isn't what is it called? The thing that gets dicks hard? Isn't that shit like covered under insurance? But like you have to.
Oh, Viagra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that covered? But like you have to jump through hoops just to get birth control.
Fucking birth control. Are you? I'm getting a little heated.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Well, I once got into an internet fight, like let me just finish this.
Go for it.
Because this is something I'm very passionate about, and I'm trying not to go on anyways, so I once got into an internet fight, or not an internet fight, but like an argument with some random person online about like the discussion of like making birth control over the counter. And I think like particularly people who've never had to go and get birth control think it's like the in-depth process that like you have like a long conversation with your doctor and like then they like hem and haw and figure out which birth control is right for you. But the reality is anytime I've asked for like a particular kind of birth control, they've been like, oh, what makes you ask? And I tell them and they're like, okay, let's try it. And it's just like a 2-second conversation. And most anyway, yeah. So I don't know where that was going, but anyways, women's research into women's problems are severely underfunded. Anyways, moving on.
You know what else grinds my gears? That
please tell me.
Lola and I have been talking about, but we've been like, let's not talk about it until you're on the podcast. It's a very deep convo, and it's probably going to piss a lot of you guys off, or probably it's not going to piss a lot of you guys off. It's just going to start a lot of conversations.
Please tell me.
I'm here for the controversy.
The body positive movement.
Yes.
So let me just start off by saying, guys, that we have tried and we have reached out to several, and I'm talking about like 6 or 7 different doctors, different therapists, people that are all
dietitians,
nutritionists, people that have all claimed to be very body positive, but the moment that they see that we talk about weight loss,
as it relates to
weight
loss surgery,
weight loss surgery, or just like weight loss in general, they then go, well, our views don't align, which is kind of just sad. So it's like, whatever. So that's where I'm going to lead it off with. So just so you know that we are trying to get people on here that are professionals, but it's really hard because of how you would think the body positive movement would be so accepting, yet it is very selective as to who's part of it. So I mean, that's my opinion, I guess. But Lola, do you have any words?
Oh, I have many.
I also have a few after you're done, Lola.
I'm ready to have this conversation. But I've always been very body positive. I never looked at myself, and I know that Sarah's like this too. I've never looked at myself and be like, girl, you fat, you ugly. Like, fat is something that you have on you. It's not something that you are.
Amen.
Yeah. And I've always been a firm believer of that. You know, I've always been very positive about who I am as a person and what I look like. I've always thought I was beautiful. And I think that everyone should think about that of themselves. And to me, that's what body positive is. Like, you find yourself beautiful in the before and in the after. And I've, ever since, I started my journey on Instagram, I've always just said, I want to love myself as much as I do now when I'm 200 some pounds as I am whenever I'm at my goal. And I'm going to embrace myself at a size 22, the same as I embrace myself at a size 12 or a size 6 or wherever I am. And I feel like I've followed so many body positive accounts on Instagram. I'm not going to name any of them because I don't want to call anybody out. But they've all said, like, hate the diet culture. Bikini body can be anybody. And that's true. It is. But they're like, we don't like anybody who diets. And if you are, you're a fat trader. And I know that you said that to me before, Ellie, that you heard that in a podcast.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly did they say?
They went on a tangent. It was kind of like used as a slur word, where if you're a fat trader, that means you've either lost a lot of weight or you've had weight loss surgery and you're considered a fat trader.
They also use the word.
Sorry, continue.
They also use the term, like being a quote unquote good fatty means that like you're always like making an effort to lose weight. And like it's, but like that's what you should do if you are living like.
It's like the context was like that you're promoting that you're doing all of this stuff, so you look like you're being a good fatty, like that you're doing your part, being healthy, etc.
No. I'm just so against the fact that people are not okay with you loving yourself, but also being okay with having better health, because it's not necessarily as I want to be skinny because I want to look better. And and there's nothing wrong if you want to look skinny, that's fine. But that doesn't mean that you're not body positive, Mm-hmm. Even if you want to just look skinny doesn't mean that you're not okay with who you are when you're not skinny. Maybe you want to be fitter. Maybe you want to feel healthier. Like for me, I wanted to be healthier. I wanted to have kids. I want to have kids. So I changed myself and I made the effort, to get the surgery to be thinner. In retrospect, like be thinner. Yeah. But really to be healthy. And that doesn't mean that I don't love myself or have not loved myself before. And I feel like maybe these people, these quote unquote body positive people don't think that we love ourselves.
Right.
Or their perception of like, they think that the only way that someone can love themselves like at all is that like you accept yourself. The thing is, like, when I was almost 300 pounds, like, I loved and accepted myself for who I was. I made the decision to change my body so that I could be more active. Not everyone who is almost 300 pounds needs to do that. Not everyone who is 300 pounds has to do that. If you're 300 pounds and you want to continue living in a 300-pound body, that's your choice. I have, like, you can wear a bikini. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't matter to me. It was my choice to make that change for myself because I want to live a life that I personally was not able to lead without having weight loss surgery. And to me, it's like body positive is supporting people and their choice to either never have weight loss surgery or to have weight loss surgery, or if they choose to lose weight because that's what's going to make them feel better, or choose to gain weight if that's what's going to make them feel better. Like, to me, that is what body positivity is. Like, supporting people on their journey to, like, death. Like, we're all heading there. Like, what do you want to do on the way? So that's, to me, what it is.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. I think being positive is just loving yourself, no matter what stage of life you are. It isn't just, it's okay to love yourself when you're big and all that stuff. It's okay to love yourself when you're skinny. It's just loving yourself. Yeah. And it's not just sitting in complacency and just being okay with who you are all the time. Like, it's okay for you to love yourself who you are, but I think that it's not really body positive for you. It's going to stir up a lot of hate, I'm pretty sure. I'm so sorry, unpopular opinion. But I don't think it's really body positive for you to be aware that you are hurting yourself and killing yourself if you actually do have health issues that are causing you to die slowly and you don't want to do anything for yourself. I personally don't think that that's body positive.
Right.
I know a lot of people disagree.
I don't disagree with you. However, I do want to say that just because somebody's 300 pounds doesn't mean that they're not at a good health with themselves if they acknowledge that. And also, I just want to put it as a disclaimer just so people
No, I agree with you.
Like, you can be 300 pounds and be active and run around and not get winded when you walk to the mailbox. But me at 300 pounds was not that. I had to sit there and be like, I am gonna die soon. I have diabetes. I need to get this fixed. So you can be healthy at any size. I truly do believe that. However, if you're at a size that's unhealthy, whether you are completely super underweight or overweight, that's something that you have to acknowledge. Your health has to be acknowledged throughout your positivity journey, I guess.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to say that as a disclaimer.
I think that's something that all of us agree with. Like,
I just wanted to say that before, like, somebody was just like, well, they don't agree that fat people can be healthy. You can.
No, you can. Healthy. Yeah.
I didn't encounter, like, I was, before I had weight loss surgery, I weighed between like 250 and like 285 pounds, and I didn't, like, my blood pressure was normal. Everything was normal. And then for me, it changed very quickly, and that, like, helped me make the decision to want to have weight loss surgery. But I think it's like, if regardless, like, if you have a health, if there's something in terms of health that your doctor, and a doctor who understands that people of every size can have a healthy body, like, if a doctor or their metabolic tests that are telling you, like, that you need to improve your health through whatever, like, you should be doing, like, this life is a journey to, like, to me, it's like, if you want to lead an unhealthy life and have an early death, like, I guess that's your choice too. But, like, I think it's good for everyone want to pursue a life that is, like, improving your body, and regardless of what size or what your health concerns are. And I know that's not a reality for everyone. Like, some people may be quadriplegic or, like, whatever, but just, like, improving your mind and everything like that. To me, I've said this before, that's what body positivity is. Body positivity is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 100% agree.
We are getting deep, guys.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
The one issue I have with the whole, as someone who's like, I mean, Sarah's messaged people too on here about, you know, coming on to the podcast and stuff. And I've messaged people, and like, you're met with either they literally leave us on read or, on red, excuse me. And, or they answer with that, what I said earlier, which is like, oh, we don't align exactly.
We don't have similar values.
Yeah. It's so frustrating because like when you look at these people's accounts, like they'll preach body positive, but in reality it's just I don't want to say fat positive because I feel like I am very fat positive because like I don't see anything wrong with being fat, but like they take like these like words to an extreme where like I was having issues before I was officially diagnosed with diabetes, and I was having pre-diabetic things and all that kind of stuff. But I at some point in my adult life had to sit back and be like, I love myself at this size. I don't really care to lose weight. And I feel like because of a lot of these accounts, it kind of got into my head where it was just like, I didn't have to change because whatever, even though I was going down a really dark path. And I mean, that was my journey. I mean, that's not necessarily everybody's, but I feel like a lot of what they put out there can also be, how do I word this? I think I'm going off topic or wording it wrong, and that's not what I mean. I feel like if I would have continued to listen to them, I would still be diabetic for a lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also like, okay, so the people who call themselves body positive. So what if you are someone who is severely underweight and is encountering health concerns because you are severely underweight? Is the body positive movement also telling the underweight person, no, you cannot gain weight? That's not body positive? Because like, to me, it's like, I think it's like anti-dieting, but not
good point.
Anti-dieting for weight loss, but not anti-dieting for weight gain. And both of those exist. Like there are some people who their metabolism just runs extraordinarily fast. They have like health concerns because of it. And is the body positivity movement telling those people, you know what, you shouldn't be dieting for weight gain?
Right.
Blowing your minds up, guys.
You are. I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, I never even thought of it that way.
Yeah. I mean, I've always thought of it as like, if you're relatively, I guess, like societal standards of beauty, like you're not allowed to be in the body positive community. Like that's what I just always thought. Like these people just never allowed them in. But I never thought of it as like being underweight. Like, that's like a bias that they have. Like if you're very pretty and you know you could be on a magazine, you're not allowed to love your body, and you're not allowed. Or to like this. That's what I think.
If you were of a traditional size in beauty, like you wouldn't, you can't possibly understand. And like I really struggle because like I want to be body positive, but I also like when I was younger, especially, like I had so much hate like towards people who were more beautiful than me or who were richer than me. But the thing is, like, those people didn't, most of the time, those people didn't do anything to earn that. Just like I didn't earn anything to have been brought up in a relatively like lower middle class home, also to have born into a body that was predisposed to being obese. Like, and so when I was younger, especially, I had to learn to like not hate people for things that, like, for the most part, things that were beyond their control, even if it was like the societal ideal of like having have your parents pay for college, for example, or like, you know, being conventionally attractive. Like, those are things that like I had to learn not to like judge people for, because, you know, I wouldn't want the reverse from them. You know, I feel like it's more acceptable. Like, it's more people, it's acceptable to hate someone for being beautiful. And that's not okay.
It's not.
Yeah. Yeah. I follow this girl on Instagram. She's actually a model for Aerie.
Oh, I think I know her.
Yeah. She's a plus size model technically. And she's really well known in the body positive community. But I feel like she gets a lot of slack because she's not that big according to everybody else, you know? And because she's a model, like people are like, oh, you don't understand. You don't know what it's like. You can't say you're body positive because you don't receive the same hate that we do. And she's had to like talk about it. And sometimes I feel like, I swear, I heard her kind of like telling people, oh, just because I'm working out doesn't mean I'm not body positive.
Yeah.
There's nothing like working, like wanting to be like, have your body, like there's nothing wrong with going to the fucking gym if you want to. Oh my God.
Michelle, who we had on the podcast, like she's not necessarily out there to lose weight. She just wants to live a healthy life and be able to move her joints and not have arthritis because of her accident. Like, so because she's going to the gym, does that mean she's not body positive now? Like, is that what it's coming down to? Is she being a quote unquote good fatty because she's going to the gym and marking it on her Instagram? Like, that's where it gets me really fucking, like, I don't think that people consciously are being malicious the way that they are. I think it's more of like, I don't know, I can't see somebody consciously being that mean. You know what I mean? I feel like it comes from like a deeper place of like self-hate that they have for themselves, that's why they project that onto like other people, because like there's just no way. You know what I mean?
Also, if you're listening to this and you're like, you know of people in the community, or you yourself are someone who identifies body positive and doesn't hold these opinions, please share with us, because I think, you know, maybe we're just ignorant and we're not seeing it, because I know that a lot of people like in the weight loss surgery Instagram community, like people talk about negativity and I'm like, I don't see it. Whereas like we are making assumptions about the community, and maybe there's a lot of people out there who are not like this. So if you guys know of anyone who, and you're listening right now and know of people who are not like this, please share it with us, because I'm sure all three of us would love to support these people with our Instagram follow.
Yeah. And also like, if they're willing to talk to us, like, because there's a lot of people in the body positive community that probably don't have or hold any of the things that we see as a reality, as people that were on one side and now the other, that we didn't see on either side, and like they don't want to talk to us because we have differing opinions. So like if they want to be like open to talking, please let us know, because that's like, we're trying to get people on here but they don't want to come on here.
They're like, nah, you guys got your stomachs cut out, and we're like, but it's okay, we still have stomachs.
But I still love myself.
I still love Oreos, okay? I eat cheesy Fiesta potatoes once or twice a month.
Oh my gosh. I can't. You guys' obsession with Taco Bell.
Is it wrong?
No.
Want to talk about lava shits?
Oh yes, absolutely. No, I'm serious.
Oh my God.
I think that you guys should like make it initiation in order to be on the podcast. You have to make sure that you get everybody's like pre-surgery Taco Bell order.
What was yours?
So yeah, what was yours, Lola?
Oh man. So it was
open your notebooks, ladies and gentlemen.
Take notes. No, it was a Crunchwrap Supreme beef meal with a soft taco. Mm-hmm. Yes, the lettuce and the tomatoes. Okay, Elliot, I'm sorry.
I didn't like the tomatoes. She didn't like the lettuce.
Yeah, okay. Well, I like it all. I like all the condiments and everything. A beefy 5-layer burrito.
Ooh.
Either a gordita crunch or a chalupa, and then a chicken quesadilla. And if I was really feeling frisky, I would also add a 7-layer extra large burrito.
Ooh.
Damn, girl.
And yes, I would eat all of it.
Same, girl. You had you have a very similar order to mine.
I feel like I never took advantage of my full-size stomach when I had it at Taco Bell, because all I did was a crunch wrap with soft taco and a cheese. Like, I never branched out.
Like, we had Dre on the podcast, and he was like, I would go to Taco Bell and be like, I have a $20 limit, and I can't go past that. But I would go past the $20 limit every time. And it's hard to do that at Taco Bell.
But now thinking about it, it's like, now when I joke about it, but I legitimately make room in my life for cheesy Fiesta potatoes once or twice a month. I'm not going to lie about it. It just happens. And then I'd regret it because I feel like shit, but it's okay because I fucking love it. But now it's like my Taco Bell order is like $3.
But you know what? That's you having a normal relationship with food. You know what I mean? It's all about
balance. It's like, you know, I don't like I don't like cocaine all the time, but I just do it once a while.
It's all about balance.
Balance, guys. We're joking. I've never done cocaine, okay? They're from Florida. Maybe ask them.
No cocaine in my life. I'm good.
Negative.
No, but I totally had Taco Bell for the first a couple weeks ago after surgery, and I'm 8 months post-op. So I had a chicken quesadilla to try and play it safe. Don't add anything else. No beef, because I'm afraid of the beef there, because it's not really beef.
Like, let's just be honest. The food isn't real food. Let's be honest.
But I was able to down a chicken quesadilla, and I was so happy. I probably won't do it again for a really long time. I definitely got a lot of flack for it from my boyfriend. He was like, no, he was out of town. He was like, you ate Taco Bell when I wasn't around because you knew I was going to call you out on it. And I was like, that's right. I'm my own person.
Well,
I do what I want.
At least, you know, he's very supportive, and he's like, how fucking dare you?
Yeah.
See, that's the tough love you need, you know?
Yeah. He wants me to take care of myself and my own body. And every once in a while, he lets me have a bag of chips, which is my weakness.
I wish we had restriction with chips. I don't know about you guys, but like I can eat all the damn chips and popcorn. Like there's no restriction. It's like, oh, come on, sleeve.
Same with what is it called? I can also eat a lot of pizza rolls. Like that's the other thing that like, my stomach does not have an end to. I learned that a whole bag of it. Don't do that ever.
I learned that the hard way at a Halloween party. There was a whole container of pizza rolls. I was literally the only person eating pizza rolls, but I was like, I mean, they're tiny. They can't be that bad. I was like 10 pizza rolls in, and I'm like, I can't be stopped.
Don't look at me.
Like, punched over the
it's going into me like it's going into me like.
Everyone at the party was like, I'm sorry. Everyone at the party was, we know you've lost a lot of weight. How'd you do it? By eating all the pizza rolls?
There's no end to pizza. Like, don't do it. Like, if you think, oh, I heard those weird girls on Thick Thoughts talk about fucking pizza rolls. I can't down that many. You will eat the whole bag. Like, don't do it.
Don't test yourself.
Don't do it. Just avoid them.
I've avoided them since Halloween.
I went to the store the other day. And I stared at the Oreos in the Oreo aisle for solid 30 seconds and then walked away. I'm like, it's like, hello, darkness, my old friend.
Don't do it, Sarah. Don't do it.
I didn't, but I looked at them. I'm like, what are these crack Oreos that Ellie are talking about?
Oh my gosh. Listening to that podcast made me want Oreos so bad that I had to have the like restraint in my mind to be like, don't go to the store, don't buy Oreos. And even yesterday I went to Walgreens and I saw the Oreos and I was like, no, don't do it, Lorena. You got this.
You know, like we're reformed crazy binge eaters when we're like, we already know the exact freaking Taco Bell order off the top of our head. Still to this day, yes, we will literally stare at bags of Oreos and walk away.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe next time I visit them, I'll like just touch them softly. Just touch them, not pick it.
Like I have a thing with soda right now. So my sister left like a thing of soda on the counter, and like everybody in my Instagram stories was like, just pick it up and throw it away. And I'm like, no, if I can't get that close. If I get near it, I'll smell it and then I'll drink it. Like, it'll just happen.
But you have to open the can to smell it.
Well, no, it was a like
it was a Rogue.
Coke. No, the bottled Mexican Coke. So it had the lid off, and it was sitting. It was flat as shit. But I knew if I smelled it, I'd still drink it because it was sitting out, like in the morning. Also,
I love flat soda. Like the only soda I really drank was Diet Coke, just because I preferred the taste. But like flat soda.
Get out of here.
Oh my gosh, Sarah! I thought I was the only one.
I know.
I love flat soda. It's good.
Like flat. The only soda I really, really like feeling in my soul about is Diet Coke. But like flat Diet Coke. Oh,
And I bet you both like mint chocolate chip, don't you?
oh
Yes.
Ew.
oh.
Fuck yes.
Only weirdos like
Ellie,
flat Coke
stop.
and mint chocolate chip.
On your
Okay.
Ellie. First of all, how dare you? Second of all, have you ever had the Ben and Jerry's? There's this. Okay, don't be. If you're triggered by ice cream, don't listen to this. But there's this Ben and Jerry's. I've talked about it before. It's like a mint. Let me Google it. It's like a mint ice cream with Oreos mixed in, and some of the Oreos are like full chunks. Like I used to down one of those a night.
Okay, I never tried that.
Oh my
and I'm
God.
sad.
I'm sorry. Mint cookie Ben and Jerry.
Skinny too soon.
I know.
Skinny too soon.
Listen,
Right?
hashtag skinny
Well,
too.
I was skinny too late because I downed so many of them.
I will.
Mint chocolate cookie, Ben and Jerry's mint chocolate cookie. If you have not had your stomach cut out, or even if you had, and you can have a normal relationship with ice cream, get it, try it, tell me about it, take a picture of it, send me the smell so I can through you.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever loved ice cream as much as I do now after surgery than I did before surgery. And I think that's a problem.
I have always loved ice cream. It is what runs through my veins, like even more than donuts, even more than cheesy Fiesta potatoes. Ice cream, I have a very unhealthy relationship with ice cream. I've talked about it before. Like my parents, like if we were good all day, we got ice cream at the end of the day. Well, now I'm an adult. Every day I'm fucking good, you know?
I'm not a super sweets person, but like the one sweet.
You are a sweet person.
Oh, thanks. I'm not a sweet
Just
ass
kidding.
bitch. I'm more of a salty ass bitch. And savory ass bitch is
Also
how I like
true.
Oh my God, though. But I was always a savory ass and a salty ass bitch before surgery, real life and like food life wise. And now I'm like a sweets person. Has that ever happened to anybody? Like they're like taste buds change or something, but like I love sweets now and I used to hate sweets.
I think I will admit that lately, because I feel like it's my IUD and the fact that I've been like with so many moods throughout the day. And I usually like right before my period, I'm just like, I'll stare at the ice cream aisle a little longer, like normally, like before surgery, like if I was getting my period or I knew it was coming, I would just stare at the ice cream and I'd be like, I think I'm going to get a pint of ice cream. Mind you, I don't like to eat ice cream like that's in a pint. I have to go to the ice cream store and get it fresh because I'm that kind of a bitch.
Bougie.
Can't relate.
Sorry. But like I did like the Ben and Jerry's. So like I would be like, oh, maybe I'll pick up a Ben and Jerry's. And then I knew I'm like, okay, I'll probably be getting my period within, where am I in my birth control pills? And then I don't know when I'm getting my period. But now recently, because I have the IUD and I never know what moods I'm gonna have, and like I am constantly in a weird flare of PMS, I will dabble, okay, in a McFlurry. And or
Fuck yes. Oreo McFlurry?
Yeah. Or wait. Oreo McFlurry.
Girl,
with
you're
M&Ms.
halfway to a mint chocolate. Wait,
Oreo
what?
McFlurry with M&Ms.
That is incestuous, first of all.
Can you have both? I didn't know you could have both.
You can have both.
Do you have to pay extra?
It's
I used to work at
like 30
McDonald's.
cents extra.
No.
30.
It's worth it.
Yeah, but I have that, and then I also have like if I want, I'll have like a couple bites because like honestly, the too much of the sweetness makes me like be grossed out. So I have a little bit of that, or cookie dough is my new obsession. So it's always
I've
been my
always
obsession.
fucked with cookie dough.
Cookie dough is the best thing to fuck with. If I'm not saying eat raw cookie dough, from the Toll House thing, but you know what? Like I haven't died
They
yet.
make edible kinds. They've made edible kinds. I actually went to Texas this past weekend and went to an edible cookie dough store.
Oh my God.
All
I saw
different
one.
flavors.
Yes. I've seen one of those in the mall, and it was after surgery. I got one. I took like a few bites and I was like, why did I do this?
Definitely don't venture into cookie dough land if
Don't.
surgery 6 or 7 months after
you
surgery.
can have like
it's okay.
one or two, but not like, but yeah, wait at least like 6 months probably.
Yeah.
And also
Just
like
don't fuck
be
yourself up.
reasonable.
Yeah. So
Reasonable is not my middle name, by the way.
So Lola, if there was any advice that you would give your past self, or you or anybody going through sort of the same journey that you're going through? What is something that you would like? What are some words of encouragement you would give yourself?
Okay.
Pressure.
Pressure. I would definitely tell myself, I'll continue to remind myself, good job for loving yourself throughout the whole process. Don't stop loving yourself. Even when the scale does not agree with you, do not stop loving yourself. Even when your weight fluctuates, do not stop loving yourself. Continue to strive for health, even if you're not at the goal weight that you're at, there you want to be.
Are you speaking to me, Lola? First of all, I feel
I'm speaking to everyone and myself because that scale been bothering me right now. But really, love yourself no matter where you're at. Love your body before, after, during, in between, in any moment, shape or form, and strive for the goals that you want. Like, make goals for yourself and like strive for those things, because then you don't become complacent where you're at. Don't just accept where you're at, but just run for goals and try and be better than you are in everything, in all life.
Oh my God.
You literally almost made me cry right now.
If my heart wasn't frozen because I'm so cold, I might have just cried.
Oh my God.
You're an angel, Lola.
I can't.
Also, my cat's name is Lola. Or not my cat, but my brother's cat. But she used to be my cat. She's now shitting all over their house, but I'm guessing you don't understand.
Can relate.
So basically, yes.
I'm your cat.
So thank you, Lola.
Yeah.
So
much thank you so much, Lola. You're an angel, and we appreciate you so much.
I have been beyond honored to be allowed on this podcast.
Also, full disclosure, guys, we've tried to record with Lola already once before. We had a crazy technical difficulties, and I felt so bad about it for like the next 3 days or week.
Bless my boyfriend's heart for trying to help you guys figure it out.
What's crazy is like everything he told me to do, my other friend did for me, and it worked. Which is like, I was like, okay, my computer just hates me today, but
it wasn't meant to be. He the best. He the best.
Shout out.
So happy. I'm so happy. Oh, other side note. Can I give another ending thing?
Yes.
Guys, stick to the person who loves you. Let them help you, and understand that they accept you before, during, and after as well. Most of the time.
Oh my God.
Most of the time. But also, if they're treating you like shit, drop them.
Yeah, if they're treating you like shit, drop them. If they're not with you in this journey, leave them, because they shouldn't be part of it.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Well, what a wonderful way for us to conclude this episode. Mm-hmm. Thank you guys all so much for listening. Thank you so much, Lola, for joining us today and every day, as you are a true thick thought. Yeah. So for those of you listening, if you are not already, make sure you follow all of us and our Thick Thoughts podcast Instagram. You can listen to us wherever podcasts are listened to. I was going to say wherever podcasts are sold, but podcasts aren't sold. We are also on Patreon. We have exclusive content for Patreons, and that's in our Instagram bio. Thick Thoughts, or not Thick Thoughts, patreon.com. What are words? Patreon.com/Thick Thoughts. You can also caffeinate us, getting us a coffee, and that's just like a one-time thing. We appreciate all of our patrons. And yeah, you guys are the tits. Lola's also the tit.
I'm a Patreon.
She's a patron.
Oh shit, she's a double tit. You are the titties. Why is that a thing? Yeah. If you haven't already, if you can't afford to be a patron, you can also rate and review us. That is an excellent way to support us, and just listening is supporting us. So support. My words are really struggling today. Just by listening and being here, you are supporting us. So thank you for being a bra and supporting us. Anything else, Ellie?
No, you pretty much covered it.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye, thotties.